The progressive revolution doesn't stop when the live show ends. Join the home of progressives and become a TYT member today. Click the link below.
Once again, video footage proves that a police account of a violent incident with someone they were approaching did not go down the way that they said it did. So here's the video footage. Just bear in mind, it is violent.
Am I gonna what?
All he's asking for is your ID, man.
Dude, like,
that's it. It's
ridiculous.
All right,
stay in the car, dude. Stay in the fucking car, dude.
Hey, come.
Listen, bro. I just got to work. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. I don't have time for this. I don't want to go here right now.
I don't either.
Don't get out of the car right now.
Don't touch me like that. Stand behind your back. Stand behind your back.
So what you saw there was the cops approaching a guy in Orange County. This is really early in the morning. The guy is so intoxicated that we didn't play the whole part of them talking to him beforehand, but he was having trouble even responding to their questions. The idea that he was violently getting up and attacking them seems ridiculous when you know how drunk he was, but you've also just seen it right there. He said, "Don't touch me," and the guy immediately began punching him. Now, what the cops say happened is that he resisted arrest and he attacked them. That is, of course, what they always go to.
Yep.
Apparently either forgetting that the camera in their car is on, expecting that they can say that it was turned off, as is often the case. But thankfully, in this case, the video footage shows that the cops attacked him totally needlessly.
So here are the number of lies that the police said about it. And yes, I said lies because they're absolutely positively lying about it because I just saw it with my own eyes. And you could watch the whole video as well. So they say that he attacked first. We just saw it, and he was antagonistic throughout. He was laughing a second before they started punching him in the face. They said that he used gang language. I didn't catch that part, and that he used the N-word. I'm sure they were so offended by him using the N-word, which he didn't, that that's why they started punching him in the face, and then pretended that he was punching them.
Yeah.
So, and this story on what happened has changed from the cop who did the punching a great number of times. First, he said he was trying to bear hug me. Then he said he continued to physically struggle. Then he got changed to he was worried about his aggressive demeanor and worried that he was going to attack him. So that's why he needed to be punched in the face a bunch of times. That's when he realized, oops, there's video.
There you go.
And his bosses so far completely supporting the cop, saying that was right. So think about it, if you live in Orange County, they believe that is proper policing.
But see, this is the fundamental problem I have with police. And last night I had a one-on-one with Jason Whitlock, and he talked about how, well, you know, these politicians, they don't really want to have to be spending this money on police abuse settlements. And I'm going, yeah, but they're continuing. The reality is that police officers consistently lie. They know that DAs, grand juries, and juries give them the benefit of the doubt in nearly every case. So they say we can lie with impunity. And I've continued to say what should happen is if a police officer lies in a report, they should be automatically fired. That's what happened in the Laquan McDonald case with Jason Van Dyke. That's what happened in the Walter Scott shooting. And luckily, you had video that actually disproved that. And this is why the likes of Sheriff David Clark and all of these police unions and others, they are silent when these cops lie. Yeah. Chicago Tribune even did a story where a judge in Chicago, 8 cops lied on his witness stand. And the judge is sitting there going, y'all are lying. Reported them to the Police Accountability Board, and there was no investigation. And then a Jeff Sessions and a Trump goes to Chicago and says, we need, you know, the morale of police officers. This is why you have to have consent decrees, because they lie and they throw people in jail. They destroy their lives using the authority of the badge and gun. And that is shameful. And I hope that locale ends up having to pay $2, $3, $4, $5 million for what they did to him with those cops lying.
So I want you to understand other important context. This guy was intoxicated, he was in a car, right? So you might be thinking, well, I mean, look, it was dangerous. No, it was a parking lot, he was sleeping, he was not driving. So they just went to a guy who was sleeping in his own car and not driving because he was too intoxicated. And see, that's why he was sleeping. He could have drove home, but he didn't. Okay, he made the right decision, okay?
And this is what happens, why they turn off their body cameras, or they cut the case in Sacramento. Hey, cut the audio, cut the audio. Same thing. I'll say it again. If a cop turns a dash cam off, turns the body camera off, turns the audio off, immediate firing.
Yeah.
That's what it should be, because there needs to be a penalty for lying.
Worst case scenario generally is if they get fired, that's a 1 in 1,000 chance. They move 8 miles away and get hired by the next
They should lose
department.
their peace officer license.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so, and of course the cops have stuck with the other cops.
Always.
And to Roland's other point, so not only did they beat the hell out of this guy, and when he was on the ground, they continued to punch him in the face. But now they're putting a felony resisting arrest charge, because I guess his face was resisting their fists. And if he's convicted of that, his life is ruined.
Yeah.
So they add literal insult to injury.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a few other. I just want to read a couple other quotes, because what they presented was we have a dangerous job. We go into the situation. This guy is being dangerous. We had to fight him. Then you see the reality, and you realize that in a lot of these situations, they're so filled with fear that the standard is below the ground.
Yes.
But it's worse than that, because this guy was not even legitimately afraid. Look at a couple of quotes of this police officer. So he said during that conversation, when Sayem asks, "Are you gonna shoot me?" he says, "No." The other chimes in, "I'd like to." So they're thinking about wanting to commit violent acts. But beyond even that, in another dashcam video from that morning, deputies can be heard talking and laughing about recent fights with suspects. "That was a good fight," one chuckled, and another replied, "I got in another good one last week." So they are giving us no reason to believe that they are not driving around Orange County late at night hoping to come across someone that they can plausibly beat the crap out of.
And by the way, you cowards, it's not a fight. It's just you assaulting someone, because you not only do you have a gun, but you have a badge. The badge is actually more important than the gun, because that means you can murder someone and get away with it.
There you go.
And then you beat the living crap out of someone and think you're a tough guy because you won the fight. If they dared to throw a punch back at you, their life would be ruined and maybe ended immediately.
And the thing is, the cops also know the game. I sit here and I go back to Sandra Bland. When she came out of that parking lot, that cop did a U-turn. If you watch that video, she did absolutely nothing wrong. And then when he pulled her over, put the cigarette out.
Yeah.
That's not against the law. But he knew she was agitated, and he kept pushing, And then when he said, "Get out of the car," because the law says that even if the cop is wrong, you are to obey even an unlawful command. And if you say no, that's when they say you disobeyed a lawful command, now I can arrest you. And they captured her on the dash cam trying to figure out in the car what the charger with was. He was going through it with his supervisor. And that's what these cops do. And luckily, I know people say, well, dash cams and body cams, they aren't perfect. But because of this, we now are catching these cops in Baltimore planting drugs. The guy in Michigan who planted drugs on a black guy and had to raise taxes in the town to pay for the settlement. Now because of that, we're seeing it. But as long as you keep allowing them to keep their piece of license and don't force them to pay for these settlements themselves, they're gonna keep doing it.
So let me add just a couple quick things to that. To Roland's point about lying, this cop said that he was, that what you just saw was, quote, an assisted fall. He said he was trying to slow down the guy's fall.
Wow.
Okay, wait.
Hold on, this is what I saw.
Yeah, that's slowing down somebody's fall, apparently.
Wow.
Okay, and we all just saw the video with us, right? He said, I helped him fall to the ground, that he softened the fall. No, you helped, the only part that's true is you did help him fall to the ground.
Yeah. Right.
By punching him in the face several times.
So he said he was sort of like laying him down?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
Do they know that the cameras are on the car?
Yeah,
but
Sometimes I'm not sure.
but they know they can lie.
A lot of times.
And look, there was a guy in Connecticut. Guy, he says, get on your knees. The guy's going to his knees, hands up. The cop kicks him in his head, knocks him unconscious, goes to trial, not guilty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and with Laquan McDonald,
On
he
video.
still was saying, like, even once the jury had already seen the tape many times, he was still saying, yeah, look at him. I was afraid he was gonna kill me.
Look at him, what does that mean? Last thing, guys, is a guide. You know cops lying when the only charge is resisting arrest. Yeah. Well, what was he getting arrested for in the first place? Nothing. Like what you see? Click the subscribe button below and don't forget to ring the bell to never miss another video from the Young Turks.